thoughts. Before we get into that, though, those of you that are new to the channel, welcome. This is a true crime channel where we talk about cases and crime and all that mayhem stuff. And so if you've not already done so, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you like what you hear. And those of you that are back, welcome back. Thank you again for the support. And again, same thing. If you've not subscribed, hit subscribe. It doesn't cost anything, and it just pushes through the algorithm and all that fun stuff. So let's get into this. So one case update is the jury now has the verdict, or now has the case. I shouldn't say verdict because there's not been a verdict yet in the P. Diddy trial. So 2 hours after the jury was given the instructions and given the case, a note came back to the judge saying they were having an issue with juror number 25. So I don't know what's going on with juror number 25, other that they are not wanting to adhere to the judge's orders or instructions. So the judge sent it back with a note saying, do exactly what I tell you to do. So there we have it on that. But no other update other than that. So I was thinking we were going to get a verdict tomorrow, but if they're having an issue with a juror, that could delay things because they have to have all 12 jurors agree on a verdict. And if they don't agree, this could be a hung jury, and that means possibly the prosecution could refile and start this all over again. So I don't know, but we shall see. Let's see. There was that Bryan Kohberger. Yeah, that's a big one. Bryan Kohberger, it just came out, took a plea deal. Now, those of you who don't know who Bryan Kohberger is, he is that criminologist, law student, college student that murdered 4 kids in Idaho a couple years ago, and just did mass murder, 4 kids, killed them, cold blood, and no one understands why the hell he did it and how he even knew these kids. Well, instead of going through a lengthy trial, he's gone ahead and taken a plea deal. So they've taken the death penalty off the table. He is going to serve 4 life sentences and basically just die in prison. Now, the families of the victims are very upset about this. They were not consulted on this. And I know the Goncalves, their daughter, Kaylee Goncalves, was one of the victims. They're not pleased at all. They wish they had been consulted on this. And I can't say I blame them on that. So we shall see what happens with that. My question is, I'd like to know why. You know, why did they give the plea deal? Why did he commit the crimes in the first place? If he's admitting guilt, why did he do it? What was the point? I know one theory was that he was obsessed with, committing the perfect crime. That was one thing he was obsessed with, was committing the perfect crime and not getting caught, and some say that he was also an incel, involuntary celibate. So, and that may have played a role because he did kind of like troll like chat rooms and stuff. So I don't know, but he was a very bizarre character. I know the defense was trying to use an autism diagnosis and said this is why he did it and we should excuse him, but I don't think that's going to fly either. So, and it didn't because now they've done a plea deal. But the question is, why do the plea deal? They had all this evidence. I don't know why they're doing it. And maybe to save the family from going through and hearing all the trauma that they're going to go through, going through a trial. I don't know. But he is going to take a plea deal. He's going to serve 4 life sentences and not die in a death chamber somewhere. So there you have it. Let's see. So we've got Diddy jurors deliberating, one causing issues, and Kohberger is now going to do life, 4 lives. So, yeah, he's going to be gone a long, long, long time. Oh, goodness. Oh, God. We actually had a teacher. This is crazy. We had a middle school teacher get busted for dealing fentanyl, and she's now sitting in Guilford County Jail on a $3 million bond. I don't know. She's going to have her teaching license once this is done. So there's that. That was interesting. Marissa Carmichael, let's talk about her. Her mom has been making all the social media rounds again, and she's been saying, that the new detective had 11 warrants. We don't know what they were looking for. kind of crazy. And one person commented and said, "Oh, we know who did this." Well, who did it then? If you know who did it, who did it? You know, the rest of us would like to know. Because, like, and those of you who don't know who Marissa Carmichael is, she is a woman that has 5 children that went missing January 14th, 2024 from downtown Greensboro. Now, she's been missing for over a year now, almost a year, well, a year and a half now, and no one knows where the hell she is. No sign, no, nothing. It's just like she disappeared in thin air. They have been convinced that one guy did it, but cops can't prove anything. So what's the evidence, you know? I still think the baby daddy, the father of the youngest 4 kids, is involved. That's my opinion. But I did find out today, trolling through the court systems, going through documents, that the child support case that she missed, because she's supposed to go to court on January 16th. So 2 days after she went missing, she's supposed to go to court, and it was for child support and, you know, health insurance, all that stuff for the kids. That was dismissed technically January 11th, before she went missing. And I find out it was dismissed not because she didn't show up, it was dismissed because they found out she didn't have custody of the kids anymore. It was filed on October 9th, 2023, the child support case was, but kids were taken from her custody October 6th. So I'm not sure what the heck that was all about. So that kind of takes out one of my theories as to why he may have had, you know, he may have had her taken care of because he didn't want to pay the money for these kids. But now he's got the kids. So I don't know. But I would like to know where she is. You know, somebody needs to reach out to somebody and leave a clue somewhere, because this has been a very aggravating case, the Marissa Carmichael one. But we don't know where she is, and her kids don't know where she is, and it's really, really exhausting. But back to Diddy. Diddy, I hope to God the jury finds him guilty. I really do, because he's a dangerous man. And I think he gets out, he's going to unleash hell on whoever testified against him. No one's safe. No one is safe. So I hope to God they get him taken care of. And then Kohlberger, I just want to know why he did it, man. Just why? Weird. But oh well. I mean, that's all I've got for tonight. It's not a very long one tonight. I'm really tired. But you guys have a great night. And thank you for popping on and saying hello and share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And once I have more information on these other cases, I'll be back on here to let you know. But have a good night, everybody. Thank you again for tuning in. And this is Rebecca with Red True Crime. Be weird, be rude, be safe.